So how does an artist go from just, uploading anonymous tracks on YouTube to becoming one of the biggest musical acts on the entire planet? Well, that's the incredible story of The Weeknd, and today we're going to break down exactly how he pulled it off. And look, when I say one of the biggest, that is not an exaggeration. We're talking about an artist whose song Blinding Lights wasn't just a hit. Billboard literally crowned it the single greatest song in the entire history of the Hot 100 chart. I mean, just think about that for a second. That is a staggering, mind-blown achievement.
So yeah, that's the real question, right? How did this even happen? How does a mysterious figure from the Toronto underground completely redefine and then just conquer the entire world of pop music?
Okay, so here's how we're going to unpack this. We'll start at the very beginning, with Abel becoming The Weeknd. Then we'll get into his game-changing mixtape era, see how he took over the mainstream, really dig into his iconic sound, and finally, look at the incredible legacy he's already built.
All right, first up, we have to go all the way back to the beginning. Before all the fame, before that iconic name, we need to talk about a kid named Abel Tesfaye.
So who is Abel Tesfaye? Well, he was born in Toronto to Ethiopian immigrants and grew up in the Scarborough district, raised by his mom and his grandma. And this kind of upbringing meant he was surrounded by all sorts of music, everything from traditional Ethiopian sounds to classic R&B and soul. Then, at just 17, he makes this huge, life-changing move. He drops out of school, leaves home, and decides to go all in on music. And you gotta love the story behind the name, The Weeknd. It's not some random thing. It comes directly from that moment he left home. He literally left one weekend and just never came back. He took off for the weekend. So why the weird spelling? Well, that was actually a super practical move. There was already another Canadian band with that name, so he just dropped the E to avoid any copyright trouble. Simple as that. Okay, so that decision to leave home, it kicks off the next absolutely crucial chapter of his career. Because he wasn't just out there making a few songs. Oh no, he was about to start a full-blown revolution with a series of free mixtapes that were going to change the entire game. So get this, it's 2011 and nobody knows who this guy is. He's totally anonymous. And he just drops not one, not two, but 3 full-length projects online, completely for free. House of Balloons, Thursday, and Echoes of Silence. And this wasn't just him throwing music out there, it was a brilliant strategy. He built this massive, devoted following almost overnight. And the sound, it was dark, it was moody, it was like nothing anyone had ever heard in R&B at the time. Yeah, with these mixtapes, he didn't just find an audience. He literally created his own lane. This dark, atmospheric, kind of melancholic style, it became its own genre, alternative R&B. And he was, without a doubt, the pioneer. His entire foundation was built on pure, raw innovation, not copying what everyone else was doing. But, you don't get to headline the Super Bowl by staying underground forever. So our next part is all about his very smart, very calculated, and wildly successful jump into the mainstream spotlight. So at this point, he's got this super loyal fan base from the mixtapes and his debut album, Kissland. But there was one song, one project, that was about to launch him into the stratosphere, from a niche favorite to a name everyone knew. And weirdly enough, it all started with a song for a movie soundtrack. That song, of course, was Earned It from the 50 Shades of Grey soundtrack. And it didn't just do well, it won him a Grammy and, get this, an Academy Award nomination. An Oscar nod. Suddenly, he's on the biggest stages in the world, and it proved, once and for all, that his unique sound could be a massive commercial hit. And that Oscar nomination, that was just the launchpad. The 2015 album, Beauty Behind the Madness, was an absolute monster. It gave us huge hits like Can't Feel My Face and The Hills. Then, just 1 year later, he drops Starboy and solidifies his place as a superstar with another Grammy. The guy's momentum was just completely unstoppable. Okay, but what really makes The Weeknd a true icon, not just a star, is his versatility. I mean, this is a guy who didn't just find a winning formula and milk it. No way. He was constantly evolving, constantly mastering totally different sounds.
And you can see this versatility perfectly if you just look at two key projects. In 2018, he drops My Dear Melancholy, and it's a total throwback to that dark, emotional R&B that his original fans fell in love with. But then, just 2 years later, he completely flips the script with After Hours. It's this epic, cinematic tribute to 80s synth pop. And the crazy part is, he proved he could do both absolutely flawlessly.
And that whole 80s vibe, it took him to the absolute peak of global stardom. The After Hours album was a massive sensation everywhere. Blinding Lights, as we said, became one of the biggest songs of all time. And it all leads to that one ultimate achievement, the symbol that you've truly made it in pop music, headlining the Super Bowl halftime show in 2021.
All right, so when you put it all together, when you look back at this incredible journey, what's the lasting impact of The Weeknd? What's the legacy that really defines him?
I mean, the awards alone tell a huge part of the story. You're talking about 4 Grammys, more than 20 Billboard Music Awards, over 17 Junos, which are the big awards up in Canada, plus that Oscar nomination. It's just clear proof of his success with both the critics and, with millions of fans.
But honestly, beyond all the shiny awards, his real legacy is his influence. By mixing those dark, moody vibes with these incredibly catchy pop hooks, he didn't just climb the charts, he changed the entire sound of the charts. He is, without a doubt, one of the most influential artists of the 21st century. So, from this anonymous creator in Toronto to a global icon who literally reshaped the sound of modern music, his journey has been nothing short of extraordinary. Which, of course, leaves us all with one final, really fascinating question. After completely redefining pop music, what on earth is he going to reinvent next?